Neck bones. Smoked neck bones are on the menu for today. I think I'm going to do neck bones and pinto beans or something. I'll wash mine off with kind of warm water. No specific reason. I mean, I know they say hot water and warm water cleans things better. I just don't like to feel no super cold water on my hands. So I'm going to wash my meat a few times, you know, until that water get a little clear. I'm going to do this a few times. And then I'm going to put my meat in my pot. And anything else I have. I normally would have put some bell peppers in here, onions. I think I got an onion, but I don't think I have any bell peppers. I will add potatoes and the beans at the end because, you know, potatoes cook kind of fast. This meat's going to take longer. So anything that cooks kind of fast, you want to put it in last when you're cooking any meat. Just like when I cook breakfast, like eggs, bacon, and grits and stuff, I'll put the grits on first because that's going to take the longest unless you're making instant grits. And then I'll cook my bacon and sausage first and my eggs last. If you cook the eggs first, they're going to be cold as heck by the time the bacon and biscuits and everything else done. So always cook the stuff that's going to take the longest first. Alright. And I think this is the clearest it's going to get. I mean, you can get it way clearer, but I ain't trying to sit here all night. Once it start boiling, if there's any foreign objects or anything, it'll float all to the top and you can just get a spoon and scoop it out. Helps if you rub some of the meat too, because it could be dirt all in the crevices and creeps and stuff. So you see, it don't look like it was when I first rinsed it, right? So I think this is good enough. Just one last time. Yeah, I should have just threw them in the washing machine, huh? Put my detergent and bleach in there. A little gain of tide. That would have sure enough got it clean, wouldn't it? Alright. Already got my medium-sized pot here. This ain't a super big one like I cook greens and cabbage in. It's kind of a medium-sized pot. I'm going to put my meat over in this pot and figure out what vegetables I got in the fridge besides onions. If not, only onions gonna be in there then. And then I'm gonna season it, cover it with water, and let these cook for a few hours. It's about, what, almost 2 o'clock in the morning right now. So yeah, that's my dishwasher you hear going. Y'all can hear that. I'm pretty sure you can. These speakers pick up everything. Everything. Just like I'm grabbing everything. We ain't wasting no meat around here. And I'm on low battery. I gotta go get my charger. But before I do, I'll show you my meat right here in the pot. Now I'm about to get my onion. I'm in here by myself. Everyone is asleep, so I don't have anybody to hold the camera to show you how I cut my onion, but it's simple. I'm going to cut it, then I'll be back. Cut the booties off first. I'm going to cut this side next. And then I'm going to just start slicing. Then I'll peel the skin off when I'm done. It'll probably fall off as I'm slicing. See there? I don't know if I can, because this knife ain't that sharp. Oh, I did. Okay, I didn't know if I could do it with one hand. So now I'm going to just pull my skin off. And I'm going to throw this in the pot with my meat. This is all going to boil together, and this is just for flavor, honey. Remember, I always tell y'all in my cooking videos, if somebody say you need this, you need that, you need this seasoning, you need this and that, and you trying to run all around stores and Whole Food Marts to look for all these foreign seasonings that you've never heard of and you're trying to get out, you're going to drive yourself crazy. Use what you got in your seasoning cabinet, even if it's just salt and pepper. You flavor it to your liking, as long as it got some seasoning and it's not bland. It don't have to taste exactly like the person's video you're watching. It don't have to be the exact same seasoning. Now, if it's a certain ingredient to make, you know, that you actually need, like if they say, okay, you need flour, this is going to thicken it to make a gravy, then yes, you need flour. But as far as seasonings and stuff, you put what you want in there. Okay, I'm going to break these up a little bit. And then I'm going to put these in my pot. Alright, so I got some right there. Some people put just whole onion in there. I just break it up so to help the flavors float around, you know. However you want to do it. Remember, I'm using one hand, y'all. It normally wouldn't take me that long, but I'm trying to record to show y'all. I might do pinto beans and like kidney beans or something. I don't know. Beans will fill the tummies up. If you have a big family and something to get them full so they won't still be hungry, want seconds, thirds, and fourths, either way they're going to want seconds, thirds, and fourths. But, you know, this will stick to their stomach. I'm going to start off with my pink Himalayan salt. And you know I need 2 hands for this because I got to twist this and hold this with one hand and twist with the other. I'm only going to put a little bit of pink Himalayan salt because I'm going to put a lot of seasonings and powders in here. I guess a little bit was like 10 twists, I guess. You can see these onions was just about to go bad. See the spots on them, but they're still okay. My big potatoes went bad, and now my red potatoes are going bad. So all the ones that look brown, I'm about to throw these away because they've gotten too soft. Didn't cook them fast enough. And then I'm going to rinse these off, and then I'm going to go ahead and season my meat. Let them sit in cold water, even though they're not cut open. Y'all know I normally cut my potatoes and then put it in cold water so the white part of the potato won't turn brown. So I got my onions in here on top of my neck bones. I got my pink Himalayan salt that I've already put on here. And then I have these seasonings right here. Remember, any seasoning you want. I don't know why I got 2 Lawry seasonings, but this one I lost the top to it, so I'm going to go ahead and use this one. It's bigger, but I'm going to get it out the way since we don't have a top for it, you know. Just to go ahead and use it. Then I got some thyme, okay. And I don't do all that, like 2 tablespoons, 1 tablespoon, 1 cup. I eyeball it. And I eyeball it when I'm seasoning to where it looks like a lot is on the top. See how that looks like a whole bunch? But remember, you're going to mix it up and you're putting water to it. So that's going to dilute it. And that's how I determine if I have enough seasoning. And sometimes I still don't have enough. After the food's done, I'm like, it don't taste like any seasonings on here. So I know it be looking like a lot, but it don't be. Let me go ahead and do this Lawry since I don't need my other hand to take the top off. I know everybody's saying the slap your mama seasoning is the new thing now. But with Lawry's, that is an actual law, honey. You got to have this in your cupboard. It's a law. And you don't want to go around breaking the law, do you? All right, then. Get you some. All right. Okay, let me do the rest of these. My onion powder and garlic powder, and I'll be back. Last one is my paprika. All right. Paprika, paprika, paprika. All right. I'm about to add my water in here. Potatoes real quick. I just got it on warm water, but you know you can put it on hot water if you want it to start boiling a little faster. Because of course if you put cold water in there, it's going to take longer to heat up and start boiling, but it's okay. Like I said, it's late and this can cook all night as far as I'm concerned. do this until I cover the meat. The vegetables are gonna float, so I'm just looking at the meat. Make sure it's covered. And if the water cooks out, boil out, that's why you check it every hour, every couple hours, then just add some more water. You know? So that's what I'm about to do. I'm gonna put this on the stove, let it heat up, start cooking. I'm gonna put the lid on partially, have it cracked, you know, probably like that, and let it sit there and cook. All right, that's it. I got the stove on what, 9? Oh, my baby did not clean around them knobs good. Q was on kitchen duty today. The rest of it looked okay, so I ain't even look up there at the knobs, but that's all right. I'll clean it in a second. So I'm gonna put the lid on like this. Once it starts boiling, I'll probably turn it down to about 6 or 7 and let it slow cook all night. I know y'all weren't gonna let me forget my darn ground pepper. Really? Even though a lot of seasonings have pepper in it already. And I will get a spoon and mix these seasonings a little bit more. No worries. But yeah, I forgot my brown pepper. I got some parsley up here too I might throw in there. I just be doing shit at that point, child. Just give them all the nutrition. Plus I like to have a colorful meal. But not nothing that's going to be like disgusting. You know what I'm saying? But you really can't really go wrong with seasonings. I mean, unless you put in all these same seasonings in cornbread or cake or something like that. Now you tripping. But when it comes to something like this, you know, you can't really go wrong. I don't know where my cumin at or cumin. But that's alright. I was going to do canned pinto beans. But since I got to wait anyway for, you know, the meat to cook, I'm gonna go ahead and soak these beans. Just pour them in a bowl of cold water and let them soak till you're ready to put them in. And you only put them in when the meat is done or almost done. Well, not with these beans, you gotta put them in when they're almost done. So not when they're falling off the bone, you know, they're not ready yet and you put them in. If it's the canned beans, then you put them in when the meat's done, because the canned beans are already cooked, you're just heating them up. But since I'm cooking these from like while they're raw, I'm going to put them in like halfway after the meat's done. And these you do the same way I did the meat. See all this nasty stuff in there? A little ugly black bean. You wash the beans off to get any rocks from out of here or any nastiness, you know. Yeah, I know my potatoes are still in here, but wash the beans off, pour it off a couple times, and just keep doing it. Alright, it's 3:13 a.m. So about an hour later. Oh, it's roaring and bubbling. And I only have the stove on 5, y'all. See? I turned it down to 5. Like right before I left out of here. And I got my beans. I know y'all can't see it because of the steam. But I got my beans in the fridge. Still sitting in cold water with the potatoes and stuff. I might need to turn this down a little lower because I don't want them to cook super fast. The purpose of doing this was so they can cook all night. Okay, I'm turning it down to 3 now. Let's see what it's gonna do. I thought 5 would stop it from boiling. Jeez. I did forget that this stove, this eye is messed up. That's how we burnt some food a few times. Like we turned it on low and my old man was cooking something and turned it on low and it was still on high. Like I just looked at the eye and it's 5 red and I just turned it down to 3. I might have to switch eyes, but this is like my favorite eye. That's probably why I done wore it out. I hear it clicking now like it's turning down. Hopefully it is. It's still kind of red. And yes, I know it's burnt all around here. I know y'all told me how to clean that real good. It's just a sponge and soap ain't gonna do it. I'll do it one day. One day. See, it's still boiling. That's crazy. And I got it on 3. I might have to turn it off and turn it back on. Or I may just have to stay up. Because this is going to be done in no time if it's cooking like this. Shoot. I might need to go ahead and put the beans in there. If the beans get done first, all you got to do is put it on low. Let the steam cook it. Put the lid back on. If the meat ain't falling off the bones, and it will eventually with that steam. Trying to smell it. Smells good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to turn this off properly. Let me see. And this is dangerous too. I need to either get this stove checked out or get another one. That's crazy. Turn it on low and then it's still on full blast high. See, you can hear it when it's clicking. You can hear it cooling down, like going down. Y'all hear that? Oh, y'all just hear the boiling. It's going down. Okay, now let me turn it back. I'm gonna put it on 4 this time. I need you to brew a little slower, baby. Okay? I need you to be good. Get all the seasonings in there. Don't rush this thing. We just met. Don't rush. Okay? All right. Neckbones. Okay, this is about where I want it at. It's on 4 right now. It's going to cook super slow for the next couple hours. You can cook it fast or slow, however you want to. But I don't want to keep getting up and down, and I want it to be real tender. So I'm going to leave it on here. And probably put the lid all the way on now. I don't need to have it cracked now, because I don't have to worry about it boiling over and water spilling all out. It's 4:04 a.m. I just came back in here to check, just to make sure all the water has not drained out. And to taste one of my premature neck bones, because I'm hungry. I guess this will do. And probably I need to see if I have some eggs so I can make my cornbread. Y'all know how I feel about my stained old rusted up pans and pots. I love them. I don't need no fancy ones. Okay, we're finna do Old Faithful Jiffy. I don't need a bowl to mix it in. I just pour it right on in the pot. I believe I got this free when I bought them. I had them ever since. This is the honey one. Let's make it a little sweeter. I got 2 boxes. I'm gonna crack 2 eggs and put those in here. I can't do it holding the camera, so I'll be back. Alright, I got my eggs in here. I put my eggshells in the little cornbread box. Try to clean up as I go. I normally butter the bottom of the pan, but it's okay. I'll put some in here with it. I'm putting some whole milk in here. I eyeball it, honey, and then mix it. And if I need to add some more, I'll add some more. But I do not want to pour too much milk, because if it's too watery, then you have to add more cornbread, and I don't have any more. Or you can add like cornstarch or something like that if you don't have any more cornbread. But I try to get it perfect. So I'm going to put the camera down so I can mix these eggs and milk in here really good. So I'm going to like stir and mix this all up. And of course this is not enough milk. But like I said, I will add some more. I'm going to do that until I get the consistency I want. Just added more. Get all the clumps out. See how that looks. And if I need to add more, repeat. Add more milk. See, I believe this is going to be enough milk. I just got to get all these lumps out. You see all the milk on the side? I'm just going to keep scraping it, mixing it all in the mix. This is the consistency I want. I just need to get all the lumps out. See, because if you don't get the lumps out, look, watch this. Let me see if I can show y'all. Like right there, you'll have like dry cornbread in the middle. I'm trying to break one to show y'all. Like you see the dry cornbread when I move the liquid? So I'm like pushing it down. Yes, it probably would have been easier in a bowl. And would have cut my time down a little bit, maybe. But I don't feel like washing any more dishes. So I don't put everything in the dishwasher. Some stuff we do hand wash, like pots and pans and stuff like that. We may pre-wash it in the dishwasher. And you don't see any rust floating in my cornbread, okay? So my pans are safe. And when I say rust, this one don't actually have rust on it. It's just stained. If it had rust, I would still use those pans. See the little dryness? I still use those pans, but I put tin foil down. So I'm going to finish all this. I already have my oven on. Y'all know the magic number, 350. Everybody put everything on 350. You can put it on 400 or 450. It'll just get done faster. That's all. So, and I don't have to have all the lumps out. See that? Look at that cornbread, see? But you're going to have a lot of air bubbles in it. And like I said, like, just lumps. And dry cornbread everywhere. I think I did pretty good for it to be in a pan. I'm just trying to get the big obvious lumps out of the way. Yeah. But I don't want to add any more milk. This is the consistency I want. I'm going to put a little bit of butter in here. And y'all know I still add butter on the top after it's done. Sometimes when it's super hot. I know some people wait for it to cool down and rub the butter on the top of the bread. But I do it while it's hot most of the time. As well. So, but I want butter to bake in it too. Because when I do Jiffy bread, even though it's supposed to already be sweet, I want it even sweeter. I do homemade cornbread too. I don't know how long y'all been watching me, but I got some old videos where I make hot water cornbread on top of the stove. So this is just a cheat night. And plus, Alani loves the cornbread. Alani like any type of bread, honey. The loaf of bread, she just eat plain bread. I don't see how she do it. I am probably the only one in the world that likes the end piece of bread. Because I don't like super soft stuff. So the end piece of bread is kind of like, it's harder. So like I like toasted bread. Even with sandwiches, I have to toast my bread and make my sandwiches. I make the best sandwiches with toasted bread. Oh my goodness. Put some turkey, ham, whatever, salami, whatever you want on there. Swiss cheese, salt and pepper, and that toasted bread. Put mayo, mustard, whatever you want on there. Yes, sir. I do not like soft bread. Just never have. I mean, I'll eat a sandwich, you know, with regular bread. It don't have to be the end bread, but I prefer the end pieces of bread. So, if I come to y'all house, y'all invite me to y'all house, and y'all only got end pieces of bread left, I will eat them. You will not offend me if you offer me those end pieces. Okay, let me put my butter in here and put this in the oven. Since this is all that's left in this one pack, I'm going to just put this whole thing in there. I'm about to get butter all on my fingers. Trying to use one hand. It's okay, it's okay. Look at that. So, that'll cook in with the cornbread. Hopefully I don't forget about my bread and burn it. Because Jiffy cornbread, any cornbread, cooks kind of fast, honey. And this is going to be kind of thin, too, because the pan is so wide. It went better with a round pan. It would have rose a little higher. Alright. Check on these neck bones one more time. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, that was the onion. I was going to say, if it's starting to fall off the bone, I need to hurry up and put them beans in here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and add my beans though. Hold on, let me taste the little piece I took out. See how tough it is. That's it. Of course, it's still gonna be a little pink. That's how neck bones look anyway. Okay. I'm gonna add my beans in here now and just let it cook super slow. Pour my water on. I don't know if I'm gonna put these potatoes in there because that's not something I would usually do with neck bones and pinto beans. But I want to hurry up and cook them and use them. If I do, I'll add them last, but I'm not gonna put the potatoes in right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw these in the sink. Sink is clean, so I can add my beans. And normally people, they let pinto beans or whatever beans they're cooking that's dry in a bag, they let them soak overnight or for a couple days. It really doesn't matter. They're just gonna take, you know, not even take longer to cook, because I've done this many times. Let beans soak for like an hour or so, and people say it takes longer because they're raw and they're hard. But I always let meat like this cook slow. I do not rush it. If I'm cooking ham hocks, neck bones, whatever the case may be. Yes, we getting every bean out of this bowl. Hold on, I got 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Push those down there in that water and let them bad boys cook for a few more hours. I may turn it up a little bit to like 5, yeah, because I had it on 4. Put the lid on. Hopefully it don't go to rumbling and roaring again, and I just put it on 5 and the stove thinks it's on high. There's really something wrong with this stove. But this is my favorite eye. This is the biggest eye. I know, do some of y'all have like all different size eyes like I do on the stove? Like, this is the first time that I've had this. Anywhere else that I've lived, I've had like 2 big ones and 2 medium ones, or 2 big ones, 1 medium and 1 small. I've never had 1 big and then the size just drops after that. Medium, and then I got 2 smalls. Yeah, so this is my only big eye, so I cook on this one a lot. I'm gonna do a pot of rice too. I know somebody asked me to show how I do white rice. Should I do that now? I might go ahead and do it now. So I got a brand new bag right here of this rice. My question is, have y'all ever seen these tiny black bugs inside of any of your rice? I've been seeing them more and more lately, and I don't know where they're coming from, and I only find them in my rice. I found them in 1 bag of beans one time, but how do they even get in? Are they already in there? Because I don't see them when I buy the rice. That's so weird. But anyway, I know there's normally like bugs and dirt on rice, but I've been seeing it more often than I normally do. So I'm gonna open this, and I really gotta wash this. I wash all of my rice anyway. If y'all seen my videos, y'all see me do that. But I really gotta wash this to get these bugs off. And if you know what type of bugs these are, please let me know. Or I may just Google it later, but if you know, please comment and let me know. I'm not using that rice. It was too many. I don't know what those things are. Like, I'm trying to see if one is here on my measuring cup, because I was pouring the rice in the measuring cup. I don't know what they are. I threw the whole bag away, and I just got that bag. So let me get another bag of rice, and I'll be back. Good old Clover Valley. Okay, so I got 1 cup. This is 1 cup of rice, okay? And I'm going to pour this in here. I'm going to cook 2 cups of rice. So I'm going to pour 2 cups of rice in this bowl and wash it. But I need both of my hands, so I'll be back. 2nd cup. All right. Oh, I thought that was one of them bugs. I'm about to put some water in it. I gotta wash it out anyway. Oh, I don't know why I'm measuring the water, because you measure the water when you're about to cook it. I'm about to wash this off missed a couple little things in here. I don't know what that is. I'm trying to catch it to show you. But anyway, just wash your rice off a couple times, just like I did the beans, until the water is clear. Okay? Alright, I almost got it kind of clear. I saw a couple more rocks or something in here. I just call them rocks. I don't know if they're rocks, but they be hard. Y'all know I put my hand in the rice like this. So if there's any more dirt or any bugs in it, it'll come floating. See, I just saw something black. I don't know where it went. So I'm going to put more water in there until I find it. Because I don't want that in my rice. Where did you go? There you go, right there. Y'all see it? Let's see if I can grab it. See? What is that? Y'all can see that? It feels like a rock. See, like, let me see if you could hear it. Did y'all hear that? So it do be like rocks and stuff in there, but I'm really curious what those black bugs are that be in the rice. That makes me want to open my grits now. But my grits are like in a container, and I have one that's in a bag, but where do they come from? I've seen people post videos where they bought them from the store and they noticed the bugs right away, but I have not noticed that purchasing the rice. And I be looking, I flip the bag over, look, shake it up. So I don't know. So after you drain all your water, after you done washed the rice, for the person that asked me to show them how to do this, I told them I got other videos with it. I'm going to dump this in my pot, which I should have washed it out in my pot so I wouldn't have to transfer. That's why I didn't want to do the cornbread in the bowl and all that stuff. I should have washed my rice out in the pot that I'm going to cook it in. So let me get my pot really quick. I had to check on my cornbread real quick. I don't know which one of these kids washed this pot, but every time I use my pot, I rub my fingers across it to see if it's clean. I don't care if it looks clean. I rub my fingers across it, and it feels like nothing but grease. So I had to wash this out really quick. And I forget what comedian that was that asked, what is the purpose of washing the bottom of the pot? Because it just burns and it's going to stay stained. It's been on top of other dirty dishes. It could have grease on the bottom and everything. That's the purpose. And y'all know what? I just thought about it. The person that asked me to do this, they were talking about yellow rice. That's what it was. In my last cooking video, I made yellow rice, and they wanted to know how to cook yellow rice. And I told them exactly how I do the white rice. Okay, so y'all know that this is 2 cups of rice, right? That I put in here. 1 cup, 2 cups. This is the pot I'm going to cook it in. Now I'm going to do 2 cups of water. And I just have it on hot, you know, so it'll start boiling faster. No, not 2 cups of water, I'm sorry. 2 cups of rice. So however many cups of rice you have, you want to double the water. So if I got 2 cups of rice, then I'm going to need 4 cups of water. If I had 3 cups of rice, then I'm going to need 6 cups of water. That's 3. But since I only have 2 cups of rice, that's 4. I only need 4 cups of water. It's always going to be double the amount. If you have 1 cup of rice, then you're going to need 2 cups of water. It's always double, okay? So I turn my eye on high just to start it off and get it to start boiling. This is where I'm going to add my salt and pepper and butter and my rice. And once it starts boiling, I'll be back. It's 4:42 a.m. right now. So I got my butter in here, my pink Himalayan salt. I try not to use regular salt anymore. And just please, please make sure you wash your rice really good, because you don't want to think you already put pepper in your rice and you really didn't. And you see little black things floating and like, oh, okay, that's the black pepper. Wash that rice, wash those beans. Greens, that's another one that has a lot of bugs in it, because you know it grows out of the ground. So the manufacturer or the farmer or whoever, they don't thoroughly clean this stuff before they ship it to the stores. Okay. Yes, they try to spray pesticides and stuff like that on it to prevent it, but that doesn't always work. So yeah, I remember many days watching my mom cook greens and clean them and stuff like that, and she showed me the bugs floating in the sink and stuff. But yeah, once this starts boiling, I'm gonna look at the clock, and I let my rice boil for 2 minutes. You can go to 3 minutes, you know, if you want to, if you want to make sure it ain't gonna be too crunchy. You know, 3 minutes ain't gonna hurt it, but don't go over that. Okay, once it actually starts boiling, full-blown boiling, then I'm gonna look at the clock and start from there to count to 2 minutes. Gotta stir these beans up. Y'all gotta get down there in the pot. What y'all got going on? And see, remember, this eye is on 5. I gotta get these down in that water, y'all. Put some of this meat on top. Try to get my beans down in there. Why is my cornbread looking like this, so ugly? I've never seen that before. Why does it have holes in it? I mean, I know I didn't get all the lumps out, and that's what those little bumpy things are right there from the lumps. Please don't tell me that was one spot where the egg was. Anyway, let me get a fork to show y'all. Okay, this butter knife gonna have to do. So if you're not sure if your bread is done, the old-fashioned way, you know how they say stick a fork in it? Stick it in there, pull it out. If you don't see any bread on the fork or butter knife, then it's done. Don't know what that is though. Oh, that's the butter. Duh, because I did put big chunks of butter in there. I'm like, why is this hole there? So that's what happened. The butter just settled there, and that's what happened. But I already turned my oven off once I saw it was this brown, and I'm gonna go ahead and let that cool off. But normally, let me show y'all what I normally do. I normally get the stick of butter like that, rub it across the whole thing, the whole pan. But I think it's enough butter in here, because look at that. So I'm gonna close the oven and let this the rest of that butter on the inside melt. But this is how I normally do it, so it's super sweet and buttery. It is now 4:48 a.m. I'm gonna stir my rice to make sure it's not sticking to the bottom of the pot, and to get all that butter, salt, and pepper in there. At 450, 451, give or take, I'm gonna turn my eye on low and put my lid on it and walk away. That's it. That is it. It should still be water in this pot when you walk away. So the steam is gonna cook the rest of the rice. That's what's gonna soften it up. All right? Don't let it boil too long, then it'll be too soggy. Don't underboil it, then it'll be too crunchy, and the steam won't be able to help it. All right, it's 4:50 a.m. Give it one last stir. Put it on low. Put the lid on. That's it. And I'm about to put the lid back on this and let this finish doing its job. It's gonna be a couple hours before these pinto beans are done. Talk Jazz, get your ass out my pot. Somebody up early about to go to work. I heard the lid. This ain't gonna be done for a while, sir. That's what the rice looking like, but don't be coming back to check it until you're ready to eat. Leave the lid on there and let the steam do its job. Okay? I'm sorry, I'm hungry. I gotta cut me a piece of cornbread. I like the corner. Y'all know that'd be the sweetest part. And I don't like when people just like lift it out without pushing this crust down. I have to push that down. I don't know. I've always had to do that. Hold on. And then I lift it out. Can't do it with one hand, but I'll show you. See how much cleaner it be? Like it ain't all on the sides and stuff. I hate that. And with macaroni and cheese and stuff, I hate when people dig in the middle. I mean, mine already look like it's been dug in the middle. But, you know, under normal circumstances, stop doing that. It'll drive me crazy. So I'm about to eat my little sweet cornbread while I wait on the food to get done. So when it look like this, y'all, hold on, let me see if you can see it. You don't really see no water, right? It's cooking too fast, so the water is boiling out. So I'm going to just stir it up until I can see the water. And then I may turn it down, and I may add some more water. I'm trying to so y'all can see. Can you see a little bit? Them beans ain't nowhere near done. I needed to cook longer, so I'm probably going to add some more water to it. And by the way, it's 6:04 a.m. Alright, I waited for my water to get hot. Put some hot water in here. You don't want to put no cold water in here. Then it takes, you know, too long for it to heat up. So I just got my pot in my sink. That's all you got to do. Add some water. But keep in mind, when you do this and you have to keep adding water, your seasoning is diluting more and more and more. So you may have to add more seasoning when you add more water. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put as much water in here as I can. And my meat is already falling off the bone. Some people take the meat out and then cook the beans and then add the meat again later. But it's okay, you know. So now you can see it a little bit since it's not steaming so much. See my meat? But that's okay. I added a little bit more water in here. And then I'm going to put my lid right back on it. And as far as my rice goes, let's see. I don't like to dig in the middle. The rice is perfect. I wouldn't lie to you. Y'all know that. If it's crunchy, I'll tell you it's crunchy and add more water. See? Hold on. See? I'm pushing it so you know it's not crunchy. But it's not too mushy. It's nothing. It's just right. Yummy. Alright? And it's still on low. I'm about to turn it off now, though. Alright. It's like 7:20 something a.m. So Lay's getting ready for school. And I come in here and it's boiling again. So I'm going to put one of these beans like on the side of the pot. And try to like break it. Let's see if I could do it. Just to show y'all can like pick it up and feel it too. Oh, it broke pretty easy this time. The last time I came in here, it was still white in the middle and it was hard to break. Let me see. They basically done. These pinto beans are done, honey. Yes, indeed. Look at the neck bones. See, I told you it was going to be alright, even though the neck bones was falling off the bone pretty early. I didn't add any kidney beans or anything, just neck bones and pinto beans. I could throw those potatoes in here, but I'm going to go ahead and fix me a plate now. I'm going to throw the red potatoes in here, though, still. But those are just cooked in the hot water. You know, don't take those small potatoes long to cook. You can actually heat those up in the microwave. But so they'll get some flavor and seasoning. I'm going to throw them right in here in the pie after I fix my plate. I'm literally just going to drop them in there. These will be done in a few minutes. Probably 5-10 minutes. Not even 10, I don't think. Now how hot this water is. If I had me a duck, put them right here in the jacuzzi too. Along with these naked bones. Alright. Yes, indeed. Y'all know I would have had a piece of cornbread on the side, but I done ate a few pieces of cornbread before these beans got done. Hold on, it's hot, y'all. They are really good. I never added more seasoning when I added more water. I should have, but it's okay. It's not bland, but you can tell the difference, you know, with this water diluting a lot of the seasoning when I added it. But I think it's pretty good. Y'all know I sleep mostly during the day, but I said I was going to go to Walgreens, but I think I'm going to get me a few hours of sleep first. And then me and baby Sarai will be heading to a few Walgreens today. Thank y'all so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please give the video a thumbs up, meaning like it. If you dislike it, hell, give it a thumbs down. If you really dislike it or dislike me, go ahead and give me one of those. I might give you one back. Ain't no telling. Please tell a friend to tell a friend about Sade with the receipts. Please also comment below and engage with me. And also comment below if you have any questions. And I will answer them to the best of my ability. And last but not least, please share if you dare, honey. And I will see you guys on the next video. Toodles!